Hey indies, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to show you guys how I slayed this Planet Rhinestone Applique Bodice. However, before getting into this video, you guys, I have finally started my own Facebook group and I want to formally invite you guys to join my sewing family. It is called Indie Fashion Creators by ASHONTAY. I will make sure I link it down below in the description box. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content, show you girls some love and support. And without further ado, let's get into this video. Now I'm going to just go ahead and lay out my fabric and I'm just showing you guys how I cut it. Now in this particular video, I'm just showing you guys the base, you know, how I structured my base for this particular applique. Now, you know, these bodices are very heavy, so because I was using a stretch, I had to make sure that I interface both of my linings. So I ended up doing 3 layers for this dress, and I interfaced every single layer except for the glitter mesh that you see right there. So right now what I'm doing is just lining up my mesh with my lining, and this is going to be an overlay, so these pieces should be together, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a little basting stitch. And I like to do a basting stitch just around the top where the neckline is. That way the fabric doesn't move, you know, when it's time to flip over and all that good stuff. However, I'm going to go ahead and just start sewing all of my princess seams together. And that is what you see me doing. So if you are doing a bodice applique and you are using a spandex, I would strongly suggest using a stretch interfacing or something like that to stiffen up your garment, because honey, these bodices are very heavy. Now I'm just gonna go ahead and start sewing in my boning. Now this is, I've already attached the same thing that you do to the outside of your fabric. You're gonna do the same thing to the inside. So your fabric and your lining should be 2 identical pieces, okay? Your main fabric piece and your lining should be 2 identical pieces. And now I'm just gonna go ahead and attach the boning to, I did 2 pieces in the bust area and 2 pieces in the back. The reason why I didn't put any boning on my side seams was because I had not had my first fitting for this dress yet, and I needed to make sure that I had a place to do my alterations should, you know, I need any. So it definitely still withheld with just the boning in those 4 areas. But if you want like a even better sturdier fit, I would definitely suggest adding more boning. Now what I'm doing here is just attaching my lining to my main fabric, and I'm going to go ahead and sew that at 1/4. And when you get around to that center part, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I just did like a pivot. That's going to be very important to keeping that structure and that shape in the center, that center V. And then once you do it, make sure you snip it, and that's going to relieve that tension. And when you flip it over, you should have a really good V. Now I'm going to just go ahead and insert my zipper in. And I'm just trying to speed through this, you guys, so we can just get to this bodice. Now I'm just going to go ahead and attach that lining to that zipper, and once I finish attaching them, I'm going to go ahead and close out the back of the dress. So when I attached the lining to the main fabric, I didn't close it all the way to the ends so that I could go back to insert in the zipper. Now, if you guys want like a more detailed review on the lining, and I believe that I've been asked this before, but I'm definitely going to do a more detailed view. But I wanted to show you guys how I structured this, because I always get questions with, well, how did the base look before you did it? So this is what the base of the dress looks like before I applied the bodice. Now, this bodice was way bigger than my client, especially in the bust area. So I'm going to just show you guys how I carved out the SS fabric. You guys, I was very pleased. This is my first time doing this, and my good sister, Portia Nakia, she's a bridal designer. She is the one who walked me through this. So shout out to you, girl. Thank you so much. You know I love you. But yes, she definitely walked me through this, and honestly, you guys, I understood it clearly. The same thing applies, like literally when you're doing design. What you apply to other gowns, you just got to apply those same things to bridal. You know what I mean? And it's just really that simple. So the same way you would carve out a dart, you know, for something else, you're going to do the same thing here. And that's exactly what I did. So instead of darting the rhinestone bodice like I may have showed you in the first applique video that I did, I actually learned how to carve out the SS fabric, you guys. And I'm not going to lie, it made the gown look amazing. So what I did was I carved it out like you're going to do it like you're going to do a regular dart. However, it's very important for you to like slowly carve it out to get the fit that you want in the bust area. And so once I carved out one side, I went on ahead and tacked that down before I put down the other side. And you're really just kind of working it to see like how you can still keep that design without, you know, it looking like you really cut out a whole V shape in the bust area. So you guys are going to see it looked amazing. But this is exactly how you do this. So for you guys who have asked me just how I do my appliques, I do my appliques this same exact way. This is my first time actually working with rhinestone bodice. So yeah, it was definitely dope. Now when you go to pull that top part over, this is basically where you're creating your dart. In my experience from doing this, because I ended up at my client's fitting, I ended up having to make this tighter because I needed to take it in the bust area. So you gotta make sure you pull that really tight. It definitely matters because the bodice has like stretch in it. And even when you think that you're putting it like really tight on a mannequin, it can almost go even tighter. So that was just one big thing. You know, just really like, don't think you're gonna break it or nothing. The tighter you pull it, the better, because when you have your fitting, you won't have to worry about doing that over. And that's exactly what I did. I had to end up pulling it even tighter. Now I use my clear thread to sew this down. I'll make sure I link that down below as well. It was a very amazing dress, you guys. I'm not even gonna lie. I was very pleased with how this came out. Alright you guys, so this is the final look of the gown. I am so ecstatic with how this came out. Now if you guys are loving this content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys learned something today. As always, Indies, stay happy, stay hungry, and stay blessed. Until next time, peace.